I give the floor now to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Madam President. At the outset, I would like to thank Assistant Secretary General Msuya for her briefing. Madam President, the war following Russia's invasion of Ukraine is now in its fourth year. Russia has not heeded repeated calls by the international community, consolidated in multiple General Assembly resolutions, to end its military operations, respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine, and withdraw its forces from its internationally recognized borders. As a direct consequence, the Ukrainian people continue to suffer, while this war has far-reaching repercussions affecting regional and global security. The window for a peaceful settlement has been opened in recent weeks, but more needs to be done to achieve a just, comprehensive, and lasting peace. The Human Rights Monitoring Mission to Ukraine has confirmed 690 civilian casualties in February alone, while Russian aggression has caused hundreds of casualties during March, with persistent attacks against residential areas, parks, hotels, and children's medical facilities. Massive attacks against Ukraine's energy infrastructure in several regions have also taken place by using ballistic missiles, Shahed UAVs, and other combat drones, while attacks against commercial vessels in the Black Sea exacerbate food insecurity. Of particular note is the wide use of short-range drones, including first-person view drones, which account for the highest number of casualties, exceeding the impact of any other weapon. Casualties among children have now exceeded 2,550, with the number of child casualties in 2024 rising by more than 50% compared to the previous year. Surviving children bear scars for life, and many of them face mental health challenges due to the disruption of their everyday lives, the countless days spent in shelters, and the missed opportunities to socialize and learn. More than 1,700 education facilities and 800 medical facilities have been damaged or destroyed since the beginning of the war. Greece condemns in the strongest possible terms attacks against civilians and civilian objects, and joins calls to immediately cease all attacks against residential areas and critical infrastructure in Ukraine. All parties must adhere to their obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law. We also deplore the violations of human rights in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine and call on Russia to ensure unfettered humanitarian access to POWs and civilian detainees and cooperate fully with all international monitoring and investigative bodies. It is also of paramount importance that we ensure accountability, and we support international efforts in this regard as a further guarantee for any peace arrangement. We firmly believe that violations of international humanitarian law and war crimes should be thoroughly investigated by the relevant international institutions and the perpetrators be brought to justice. Turning to the peace track, Greece takes note of the advancements achieved in recent weeks, the joint statement by Ukraine and the United States in Jeddah, and the fact that Ukraine is back at the negotiating table. We also express our satisfaction over the 30-day immediate ceasefire on all energy and infrastructure agreed between the United States and Russia, although we regret that Russia has not accepted a full 30-day ceasefire. We also echo the Secretary General's comment that reaching an agreement on safe and free navigation in the Black Sea with security commitments and in line with the UN Charter and international law would be a crucial contribution to global food security and supply chains. Madam President, what is needed now is not only a cessation of hostilities, but also a just, comprehensive peace through inclusive diplomacy based on the United Nations Charter and international law, in full respect of Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. A ceasefire seems not to be enough. We need to establish a solid framework for peace, security, and prosperity. This peace should only be possible with credible and robust security guarantees which will deter and prevent the recurrence of war in the future. A sustainable peace can only be achieved through strength and resilience with the active engagement of the United States, Ukraine, and Europe, as the security of Ukraine is inextricably intertwined with global security and stability. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for the statement.